Hello and welcome to the EveryOne Home Plan to End Homelessness, Year 1 Outcome Evaluation. This presentation is created by Larissa Benjamin, Fahad Yonis, and Hannah Warren. So to frame the problem that our program addresses, here's a quote about housing and homelessness in Alameda County, California. As affordable housing vanishes, many jurisdictions are facing increasing homelessness. Alameda County, California saw a substantial increase in the number of people experiencing homelessness between 2015 and 2017, driven largely by an increase in the number of unsheltered people. Here is an image of a man holding a Homeless Lives Matter 2 sign at an encampment. This image accompanied an East Bay Express article on January 21, 2018, announcing the United Nations report on adequate housing, finding that the conditions of the homeless crisis in the Bay Area were human rights abuses. Program description. EveryOne Home is a multi-level program designed to address the structural and social determinants of homelessness in Alameda County. It is a 5-year strategic plan with a long-term goal to end homelessness. The 5-year goal is to reduce the number of homeless people in Alameda County from 5,600 to 2,000 on any given night, effectively eliminating unsheltered homelessness. The plan is very broad and includes recommended strategies to expand capacity, increase investment, build stronger partnerships, especially with people experiencing homelessness, and aligning public policies. Our team was hired to evaluate to what extent EveryOne Home is achieving their annual benchmark goals through this plan, which will be discussed in more detail later. Setting and population. Who is being served and where? The EveryOne Home program is based in Alameda County. Importantly, the burden of homelessness is not equally distributed among social groups. For example, although only 13% of the population in Alameda County is African American or Black, about half of the homeless population is African American or Black. In 2017, the EveryOne Counts report notes that about 1% of the population is homeless. Another important finding is that people aged 25 to 59 years experience homelessness at a higher rate, 63%. Here are 2 visuals from the 2017 point-in-time homeless count, showing the change in the homeless population from year to year of the different censuses, and showing the percentage of sheltered versus unsheltered folks from the count in the visual below. So below are our 3 major evaluation questions. The first, looking at whether EveryOne Home reached their stated annual benchmark in 2018 of reducing the number of people becoming homeless by 500. The second one, whether EveryOne Home increased the number of people returning to permanent homes by 500. And then the final question that we've developed is, why is the EveryOne Home program successful? Was it or was it not? And why in reaching their stated goals? Here's some prior research on the program. So we're looking here at the 2013 report, which presented a retrospective of EveryOne Home's work over the decade between 2003 and 2013. And this is particularly enlightening as it encompassed the onset of the Great Recession, where efforts and federal funds were focused on preventing the expansion of homelessness, as opposed to addressing the existing homeless population. While the combined number of sheltered and unsheltered homeless people, who are listed in the figure above, have remained stagnant or increased from 2009 to 2017, great reductions were reported between 2003 and 2013 in these specific areas. For instance, the number of unsheltered homeless people went down by 12% over the last 10 years. There's also a significant decline in the percentage of homeless families with children. For instance, in 2003, 56%, and then in 2013, 32%. Additionally, the number of chronically homeless people went down 27% over the 10 years. And then also in the last 10 years, 13% fewer veterans. However, there's other metrics that stayed the same or worsened. The rate nearly doubled for mentally ill homeless people, and the rate stayed the same for substance use and people living with HIV and AIDS. What's significant about this 10-year retrospective is that those modest rates, it would take about 52 years to end homelessness in Alameda County. So this is the calculation that prompted the 2018 strategic plan to rapidly accelerate progress towards this goal. This next slide is a sample of point-in-time data at different points. In the 2013 report, EveryOne Home said that the results are troubling. Programs are helping move nearly 2,000 homeless people to permanent housing annually, but just as many people are becoming homeless each year. Here's our logic model for the EveryOne Home evaluation. Indicators. To what extent Everyone Home reached its benchmarks. So those indicators, we're going to be looking at those two sort of quantitative pieces, whether or not Everyone Home reduced the number of people becoming homeless, comparing that against a 500 reduction, and whether there's an increase in the number of people returning to permanent homes, also looking at that 500 increase. And then other indicators that will be answered using our qualitative methods. Has the service population in Alameda County felt an increase in support for housing-related issues due to Everyone Home? And are these services perceived as readily available and high quality? Methodology. So our primary methodology will be mixed methods. This is both quantitative and qualitative. So this mixed methodology was chosen to adequately answer our evaluation questions in a way that is both comprehensive and feasible. The systems, structures, policies, programs, and social forces that impact homelessness are complex, and we wanted to ensure our evaluation addresses that complexity within our methods. So this is why we've chosen mixed methods design that combines multiple types and sources of data. This allows us to fill in gaps of understanding that we may have missed if we had only used a single method in our design. So for the quantitative part, we'll be using 2019 point-in-time count data. We'll be comparing that new 2019 data to 2017 outcomes. And that way we can look at how many more homeless people, how many more people were housed. For the qualitative component, we're first going to add a qualitative question to the homeless count survey, asking whether services are perceived as accessible and or high quality. And then for the second major component of our qualitative methodology, we'll be doing a photo voice project. So participatory research is a strength of the photo voice method because it relates well to the evaluation goals of Everyone Home. Since the target population, people who are homeless, formerly homeless, or at risk of homelessness, are a marginalized group, often is empowered by traditional research methods. Thus, directly engaging in an evaluative process with people who are homeless in Alameda County will highlight new and important knowledge about the impacts of the program that would otherwise be invisible due to the power imbalance between participants and decision makers. We'll have the benefit of already having collected baseline data, which is archived and available through the Everyone Home website. So the 2019 PIT count, that data has already been collected via a 4-part community-wide effort. And that 4 parts can be seen here. That data has not yet been released. It'll be released in the coming months. And that will be our team's job to analyze it. And then regarding the sample description for the quantitative piece, 100% of people who meet the criteria provided in training are counted. This method is called census sampling across Alameda County. As said before, the data collection is a 4-part strategy to cover various populations and living situations, and it's designed to avoid duplication of people or overlap in territory. The data is collected by Everyone Home staff, service providers, trained volunteers, peers, and neighborhood guides. And finally, for the survey, stratified sampling is used to ensure a variety of living situations. For qualitative data collection, as I said before, photo voice will be used, and then these framing questions. So the sample description. So for the qualitative aspect for photo voice, the evaluation team will recruit about 12 people for the project to reach saturation. The Photo Voice project will recruit 4 people from each of these subgroups: homeless people, people at risk of homelessness, and recently housed people via a purposive sampling strategy. Additional recruitment criteria include the participants must have lived in Alameda County for over a year, and the participants must agree to commit to 3 2-hour workshops over a 2-month period. Here's our team's timeline showing the major milestones, tasks, and deliverables for our evaluation. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time to learn about our evaluation plan. If you have any questions, feel free to email us. Here are our emails. And finally, here are our references for this presentation.